This audio is from an ebook titled Just Knowing Ends the Cycle, authored by Tira, the Non-Self. Foreword. Every moment of life is an encounter. A sound arises, a thought passes through, a feeling appears, and everything quietly fades away. We once believed all of this was me, but in truth, these are only fleeting appearances that arise to be seen and dissolve back into the original, knowing that has never changed. Liberation is not in escaping suffering, but in seeing the truth of suffering as merely a natural phenomenon. When the mind knows according to reality and no longer becomes what arises, the cycle of attachment ends right there. Just knowing, the cycle is over. Contact, knowing, dissolving. Each time something touches the mind, know that it has touched. Each time knowing arises, know that it knows. Each time something fades, know that it fades. None of these have any true existence. They are only temporary appearances within the emptiness of nature. Sound, thought, emotion, memory, and even understanding are all movements of the mind, ripples within the knowing element that arise briefly and then vanish. Even the sound of Dhamma is only an appearance that arises to be known and then ceases as well. When it is seen that even understanding is impermanent, the mind stops struggling to know more and remains still in the simple, seeing that everything merely arises and passes away. Such seeing brings freedom without effort, for when there is nothing to release, freedom naturally appears on its own. We are that which is nothing. Suffering does not exist to be avoided, but to be understood. When it is seen that suffering itself is only a temporary condition of nature, the struggle ends, and what remains is the state of being nothing at all. Being nothing is not suffering and does not need to cease because it never began. It is the pure element of life, empty, clear, and unchanging. Air moves as wind, becomes a storm, or rests in stillness, yet nothing touches the space itself. In the same way, the knowing element cannot be disturbed or altered. It is purity that stands beyond all conditions. When this is understood, the mind no longer follows what arises. Whatever appears, sound, thought, or feeling arises, stays briefly, and ceases in its own nature. Nothing needs to be controlled. Nothing needs to be avoided. The seed, the elemental source of life. The shell cannot harm the seed, and the flesh cannot stain the seed. We are the seed of life, the original element that is pure and free from all things. The body is the shell. Sound, thought, memory, and emotion are the flesh, yet the seed remains untouched by any of these. The primal element created these tools only to learn that they are not itself. When this is realized, the mind lets go of being the knower and returns to the natural state of pure, knowing that knows without needing to know. The seed does not need to purify itself because it has always been pure. It only mistook itself for the flesh and shell, and when delusion ends, purity naturally appears. Layers of covering. The elemental source is subtle and clear. It gives rise to coarser movements such as thought, emotion, and perception, then forms the physical body as yet another layer of covering. The seed forms the flesh, and the flesh forms the shell. The yolk forms the white, and the white forms the eggshell to protect it. We build a metal box to protect ourselves and place that box inside a house. The house is not us. The box is not us. We are within, untouched. What can die is not us. What can change is not us. What can arise and cease is not us. We exist beyond birth and death. When this is seen, the mind gently withdraws from all coverings, revealing the innermost clarity, the knowing that never needs to be sought or made, for it has always been here. Awakening of the mind. When this truth is seen, we realize that the body is not us. Sound, thought, memory, and feeling are not us. Even the knower is not us. When the mind sees that all phenomena function by themselves, it ceases to act as the doer. Everything unfolds naturally. Speaking happens by itself. Thinking happens by itself. Walking happens by itself. There is no me within any of it. In this state, the sense of being human dissolves. What remains is a luminous emptiness that embraces the entire universe of elements. There is no suffering, no knower, no delusion, only the pure nature being what it is. When the seed no longer clings to the flesh, it is free from birth. Nothing needs to be practiced. Nothing needs to be done. There is only clear seeing, right here and now. The truth beyond meaning. This sound is suffering, for sound is a condition of the mind that arises and ceases. The sounds we think, the words we speak, and the tones we hear are all movements of nature that appear briefly and dissolve by themselves. They arise only to be seen, not to be grasped. When it is seen clearly that every sound arises and passes away, the mind stops giving meaning, stops judging, and stops fabricating. Truth is not in sound and not in thought, but quietly present in the very center of arising and ceasing. It does not need explanation or understanding, for it is beyond words and beyond meaning. When this is realized, one understands that being nothing at all is the path beyond the cycle. There is no other path, no other time. Simply awaken here and now, seeing that all things arise and vanish in their own way. What remains afterward needs no name, no meaning, no form, for it is not sound, not thought, not feeling, but the boundless purity that neither comes nor goes, neither is born nor dies. Whoever sees this is free from the cycle of attachment. There is nothing to abandon and nothing to create. Simply seeing that all things arise and cease on their own is enough. That alone is the end of suffering, the stillness beyond all description. Afterward, the light of original knowing. Truth is never far away. It is present in every contact, every knowing, every fading away. What is to be seen is not in thought, but in the quiet awareness that watches all things pass without disturbance. When it is understood that there is nothing to chase and nothing to reject, the mind rests peacefully in what is. Here and now is the end of the cycle. Just by knowing, the original knowing reveals itself. Just by seeing, all delusion falls away. And just by not needing to be anything at all, there is the true freedom, the end of suffering itself.